All right, we have one more selection. It is the very last one. I'm covering it up, but if you guys get this wrong, okay, I'll
come on. Hey, I'm about to say LeBron James.
Okay.
Come on. Like, we're not. Come on. LeBron is.
He ain't fooling nobody.
Nobody. What is this? 23? Oh my goodness.
22nd consecutive NBA All-Star selection.
LeBron James was just selected to yet another All-Star team. But this time, the announcement sparked serious backlash across the league. Critics are asking the same question: is LeBron still earning these selections with his play, or is his reputation doing the heavy lifting? Several standout players were left off the roster, and the debate intensified when LeBron later withdrew due to an injury that fans immediately began questioning. Now the conversation is louder than ever. Has the All-Star selection become more about legacy than performance? So what's really going on here?
The NBA All-Star reserve list is out or whatever. Kawhi Leonard somehow, some way, is not going to be in the All-Star game, which is just mind-boggling. And, of course, people are making the comparison that his numbers are way better than LeBron's. He's played in more games than LeBron, all those things. It's his home arena, the Intuit Dome, and somehow in Los Angeles. Don't forget, Kawhi is from Los Angeles, too.
Riverside, to be exact.
Exactly right, and he's not going to be a part.
Let's address the elephant in the room. Many analysts believe this shouldn't have been an automatic selection. Yet LeBron made the team again, reinforcing the growing perception that star power still carries enormous weight in All-Star voting. Then came the unexpected twist: his late withdrawal from the game. This fueled speculation that a selection without participation still boosts a player's resume while avoiding the physical toll of the event. Fair or not, it has added another layer to the ongoing debate about how All-Stars should truly be chosen.
Is there any part of you that regrets never doing it? And with a procession of people maybe saying they might do it, would it propel you to give it a chance at next year's All-Star game?
Nah, there's no part of me that have regrets about not doing it. Obviously, I had a couple moments where I wanted to do it, and it just never worked out that way going into the following season either because of injuries or I just wasn't up. I wasn't up for it.
But this conversation is bigger than one player. Over the years, All-Star Weekend has faced criticism for lacking competitiveness. Fans want intensity, effort, and pride, not just highlight reels. Meanwhile, the Western Conference is deeper than ever, packed with elite talent producing incredible seasons. Which raises a difficult question. When deserving players are overlooked, is the process rewarding performance or popularity? One name frequently mentioned is Alperen Sengun, who continues to elevate his game for Houston.
Another deflection by Sengun, picked up by Van Vliet. He gets it back. Oh my goodness, the soft and flat Whitmore.
Sengun is putting together a remarkable season, roughly 21 points, 9 rebounds, and 6 assists per game, while ranking near the top of the league in double-doubles. Even more importantly, his impact is translating into team success. By traditional standards, production, influence, and consistency, he fits the All-Star profile. His absence from the roster has only strengthened arguments that recognition should focus primarily on current performance.
You get the Defensive Player of the Year. Yeah, he might miss a wide open layup, but he's also going to block shots. And okay, Julius Randle. Randle's got it cooking right now.
Then there's Julius Randle, quietly delivering one of the steadiest seasons in the league. He's averaging about 22 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists, while showing impressive durability throughout the schedule. Availability matters. Consistency matters. Winning matters. Supporters argue that players demonstrating these traits represent exactly what the All-Star Game is supposed to celebrate: excellence across the entire season. And this brings us back to the larger issue. Have All-Star selections slowly drifted toward popularity contests? Or is global fan engagement simply part of what makes the event special?
But if you do a quick Google search, when you search LeBron James All-Star, the top search that comes right after that is, how did LeBron get in over Kawhi Leonard? Because if you mentioned it, Rob, you look down the stats, Kawhi Leonard has him beat on every major statistical category.
The debate doesn't stop there. Kawhi Leonard is performing at an elite level, scoring efficiently and leading winning basketball. Some observers say he looks as dominant as ever. James Harden has also generated attention with strong production and playmaking. When seasons like these don't result in selections, fans naturally begin comparing resumes and questioning the criteria behind the final decisions.
8 assists, obviously setting the table, but guess what? He can set his own plate as well. Gets in there and takes the contact.
Now let's turn to another name fueling this debate, James Harden. He's putting up around 25 points, 8 assists, and 5 rebounds per game, ranking among the league leaders in assists. In one standout performance, he exploded for 55 points, showing he can still completely take over a game. When you line up the production across the conference, several high-performing players, including Harden, Kawhi Leonard, Lauri Markkanen, De'Aaron Fox, and Julius Randle, have built strong cases through scoring, availability, and overall team impact. Naturally, comparisons begin when spots are limited and competition is this intense. Advanced metrics often add another layer to the conversation. Stats like plus-minus attempt to capture how teams perform with certain players on the floor, and fans frequently use these numbers to support their arguments. Still, metrics alone rarely tell the entire story. Context, roles, and team dynamics all matter. At the heart of the discussion is a familiar question. What should matter most in all-star selections: current performance, long-term greatness, fan voting, or a mix of all three? Some fans have even drawn comparisons to late career legends, especially Michael Jordan during his time with the Wizards. At age 38, Jordan was still producing impressive numbers and remained highly influential on the court. Others argue that sustained excellence deep into a career, something incredibly rare, naturally earns continued recognition. Moments like these highlight how difficult all-star decisions can be. The game celebrates both elite performance and iconic status, and balancing those two ideals is never simple. LeBron's longevity alone has kept him competing at a high level far longer than most players in NBA history. Playing deep into your career while still contributing is an achievement few athletes ever reach, which is exactly why debates about his selections generate so much attention. Backhand index pointing right: should the All-Star game focus purely on this season's best performers? Backhand index pointing right, or is it also a celebration of the players who shaped the league? There's no easy answer, and that's why the debate keeps getting louder every year. One thing is certain: as new stars rise and established legends extend their careers, these selection conversations aren't going away anytime soon. Now the question shifts to you: what should define an all-star? Dominance in the moment, or a legacy that changed the game? Make it Lang Thy Fire enters 7. Now let's shift the focus to one of the biggest talking points in this entire debate: James Harden. Night after night, Harden has been producing at an elite level. He's averaging roughly 25 points, 8 assists, and 5 rebounds, while sitting near the top of the league in assists. That kind of stat line doesn't just happen by accident, it reflects control, consistency, and the ability to elevate an offense. And when his team needed a signature performance, he delivered. A 55-point explosion reminded everyone that he can still dominate a game from start to finish. Performances like that don't just fill the box score, they shape narratives. So naturally, fans started asking, if players are performing at this level, how do they miss the All-Star cut? But Harden isn't the only name generating discussion. Across the Western Conference, several players have built compelling cases through scoring, availability, and team impact. When the field is this deep, even small differences get magnified. Consider this: a large group of players are hovering around the same scoring range. Many are leading winning teams. Many are logging heavy minutes. Many are delivering in clutch situations. Which raises a bigger question about the selection process. Backhand index pointing right: is the All-Star game strictly about the best performers of the current season? Backhand index pointing right, or is it also about star power and global appeal? Because the reality is, it has always been a blend of both. The numbers versus the narrative. Modern fans lean heavily on advanced metrics to support their arguments. Stats like plus-minus, efficiency ratings, and on-court impact attempt to measure how much a player influences winning. When those numbers favor certain players, debates naturally intensify. But analytics don't exist in a vacuum. A player's role, defensive assignments, roster construction, coaching system, and even injuries across the lineup can all influence these metrics. That's why front offices and voters rarely rely on a single stat when evaluating greatness. Still, when multiple high-performing players are competing for limited spots, comparisons become unavoidable. And that's exactly what fuels conversations every All-Star season. The Western Conference problem. If there's one undeniable truth this year, it's this. The West is stacked. Every position feels crowded with talent. Every roster seems to have at least one player producing at a near all-star level. In a weaker conference, some of these names would likely be automatic selections. But in the West, excellence alone sometimes isn't enough. You have to separate yourself from a field full of stars. That level of competition makes the selection process incredibly difficult, and occasionally controversial. Because when deserving players are left off, fans don't just question the results. They question the criteria. Legacy versus right now. This brings us to the philosophical core of the debate. Some fans believe all-star selections should function like a snapshot, a reward for the players dominating this specific season. Others see the event as a celebration of basketball itself, where legendary figures remain part of the showcase because of what they represent to the sport. After all, global icons help drive interest, viewership, and fan engagement. Their presence turns the game into more than an exhibition, it becomes an event. And historically, this tension has always existed. Late-career superstars often generate the toughest voting decisions because they occupy two realities at once. They may no longer be at their absolute peak. But their influence on the league remains enormous. Balancing those truths is no easy task. The longevity factor. One aspect that continues to capture attention is longevity. Competing deep into your career while still contributing is extraordinarily rare in professional sports. Most players decline quickly once they reach a certain stage. Sustained excellence challenges the traditional timeline of an athlete's prime, and fans naturally respond to that rarity. Some view extended careers as something to celebrate. Others argue that each season should stand on its own. Neither perspective is inherently wrong, they simply prioritize different values. A league-wide conversation. What's important to recognize is that this discussion isn't really about one player versus another. It's about how the league defines recognition. Is the All-Star Game a reward for seasonal dominance? A celebration of the sport's biggest names? A fan-driven spectacle? Or a mixture of everything? The answer has always been complicated, and that complexity is exactly why debates return every single year. Because when talent across the league keeps rising, the margin for selection keeps shrinking. And with fewer spots than deserving candidates. The evolution of All-Star Weekend. There's also a broader conversation happening about the event itself. Fans today crave intensity, competition, pride. They want moments that feel meaningful, not just entertaining. At the same time, players are navigating longer seasons, deeper playoff runs, and the physical demands of modern basketball. Protecting health has become a priority across the sport. So the challenge moving forward is clear. How does the league preserve excitement while adapting to the realities of today's game? Finding that balance may ultimately shape the future of All-Star Weekend. So where does that leave the debate? Perhaps the biggest takeaway is this. There will never be a selection process that satisfies everyone. Every year brings new breakout stars. Every year forces difficult omissions. Every year sparks passionate arguments. And honestly, that passion is part of what makes basketball culture so vibrant. Because fans care deeply about fairness, recognition, and the integrity of the sport. Final thought, strong retention close. Instead of asking whether one player deserved a spot over another, maybe the better chew. Pure D. Consistency? Winning impact? Fan excitement? Career greatness? Or some combination of all five? As the league continues to evolve and new generations take center stage, these questions will only grow louder. And one thing is guaranteed. As long as talent keeps overflowing, All-Star debates will never disappear. So now it turns to you.